Hello.
Good?
Welcome back to Real Talk with Shawn and Julie.
Yeah.
Today, we really want to talk to you about our issues in life, our feelings and emotions, how it gets the best of us.
Right.
We're so good with covering up stuff. We're so good with just saying, oh, I'm fine. Oh, you know what? I feel excellent today. And that's a lie because you may feel excellent and show that on the outside, but your inside is not excellent.
Right.
Your inside is not good. It's not happy at all. You're not content. You gotta be real.
That's why we're calling it real talk. You
Right.
gotta be real. You can't cover everything up. If you always cover up things, it's
Right.
you're hiding it.
Right.
So if you continue to hide it, you gotta find a release. If you don't release the stuff, it's always gonna be there. But at least
Right.
let people know that the real deal.
But then, I mean, you don't want to be disrespectful and rude.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you want to come. You kind of want to meet people where they're at.
Right.
A lot of us want to be too over spiritual,
Right.
and sometimes you just have to meet a person where they're at.
Right.
Sometimes they're depressed. Just meet them in that depression because you know how it feels.
Right.
Sometimes they're fearful or anxious or nervous or scared or even suicidal.
Yeah.
You want to meet them there, especially with us Christians that's go through so much. We all experience those things. I'm sorry. If you're called to serve God, you are going to experience some things that you didn't even ask for.
Right.
Things that you wouldn't even see yourself experiencing. You wouldn't even think that this, oh my God, am I going through this? Is this happening to me? Is this really happening to my situation? Because God called us to do so much. God called us to go through so much trials in our life, not for us, but for someone else, that so we can relate to them. Sometimes a person just needs you to come where they're at. Meet them where they're at.
Right.
Meet them in that depression moment,
Right.
where they're like, I can't hold on anymore. I'm hurting. I can't deal with this anymore. There's so much stuff that's coming at me that I don't know which way to turn. I don't know who to turn to because everyone I turn to is judging me and telling me I don't need to feel this way or just pull out of this. You're strong enough. You can do this. You don't need to be here.
You don't have enough
or you
faith.
don't have enough faith. You don't have enough faith in God, or you're not going to church. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to church. You're not paying your tithes. All that stuff. People will come up excuses for you to kind of cover up that thing, cover up the depression, or make it feel like numb it up or whatever it is. But the truth is, life just happens. We don't understand life. We don't understand why it happens, but it just happens. And honestly, at the end of the journey of this life that we're living, there's always a light at the end of that dark tunnel. There really is. Trouble don't last always.
Right.
You're always not going to be in that position. You're not always not going to stay there. So I'm speaking to someone today. I'm just encouraging you all, especially with us. And I don't mean to be pointed out to the Christian family, to my brothers and sisters in Christ. But a lot of us, we just need to sometimes just go back to when God first saved us, before he even saved us, before we even give our life to God. The things that you was up against, the stuff that the enemy got you so trapped into, so bound into, so lost into, you couldn't even get out.
Right.
You couldn't even get out yourself. Some of you trapped in alcohol, drugs, cigarette, sexual immorality, lust, pride, so many things. And we just forget that we was once human. We were once there where they were at. We were once at that state of depression, that chronic depression, that state of I can't do this anymore. This is so much. I'm gonna blow my brains out because this stuff hurts so much and no one can relate to me. No one's understanding me. No one is telling me that it's gonna be okay. That it's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel weary. It's okay to feel depressed, and it's okay to be where you're at, but you don't have to stay there. And it's okay when you get tired. It's okay. It's okay to be tired. Tell yourself that it's okay to be tired. You're always the strong one. You're always the one who pull people out, who minister to people, who pray for people, who uplift people, who stand in the gap for people. And you know what I'm saying? It's okay to be tired. If you're tired, you're tired. Nothing wrong with that, because everyone is taken from you. But that's where you got to run to God. That's where you got to run to that place of refreshing,
right.
The place of revival, where God can revive you again, where God can bring you, He make all things new again. And I just want to encourage somebody out there today. And I just want me and my husband been experiencing lately a lot of
Distractions.
a lot of distractions. Yes, thank you, babes.
Yeah,
a lot of distractions in our life.
yeah.
It's like amazing how you can have victory in this area,
Right.
and then you can all hell breaks out in this area. I don't understand it, but that's what we're experiencing right now. That's what we're going through right now. Especially if God call you to do something, if God call you for assignment to do something or to accomplish something, here comes the enemy, and he knows exactly the button that needs to be pushed inside of you. He knows exactly what irritates you. He knows exactly what to use. And last night was a prime example. Our little one was in the hospital because we thought her foot was, thank God it wasn't broken. We thought her foot was broken, but she just got a little sprain, and it, it was uncomfortable and everything. And I can deal with outside attacks. I can deal with attacks if it come against me, but when it hits my family, when it hits my husband or my children, that's what he used. He used the ones that are close to you to try to get into your mind, get into your head, get you all bewildered and get you all thinking all kind of thoughts that is not of God, thoughts that is like fear and negativity and what if this happened or what if that happened. Fear is a false evidence appearing to be real. It's that thing that you actually create in your mind before it even happened,
To stop
you from doing it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
trying to stop you before you even take the steps to do it.
Right, exactly. And that's what he tried to do to me last night. And I had to really, in the emergency room, I had to step back. And not only that, there was more attack than that, but that one right there, that one really tried to take me out in my mind, in my thoughts, because I try to keep this clear up here. You got to work on keeping this clear. Keeping your mind stayed on Jesus. Keeping your mind stayed on positivity, on positive things, on things that are pure, things that are just, things that are, a good report. That's what God said. We got to keep our mind on that. We got to think on these things, he said.
Do it on purpose.
Do it on purpose. Sometimes you got to do it on purpose.
Even when you don't feel like doing it.
Oh my God. Even when you don't feel like doing it. And last night, that was a battle that I was dealing with. And I was sitting in the emergency room and I was just like thinking all this stuff, my baby, all this stuff. And I just like, oh my God, it was so heavy. And I was like, what is this feeling? I don't like this feeling, because I can control my mind and not take it to negative things, or not take it to things that is not going to benefit me. Sometimes I have to tell myself, why you have this thought in your mind, Julie? Why are you sitting there thinking about this? Is this thought supposed to be in your mind? I even tell myself that. I have to sit down and school myself sometimes. And and that's what I had to do last night. And I was like, no, you should not be thinking this. That negative thought should not be in your mind. Is that thought pleasing to God? Is that thought, what is it doing for you? Is that thought supposed to be in there? Is it making you happy? Is it bringing you joy? Is it bringing you, is it bringing you to a solution to your issue? No. And that's where you have to cast it down. You have to cancel it right away. Because if you continue, let it sit there, and you continue entertaining that thought over and over again, guess what? It takes control over you, your feelings, your emotions. It takes control over that, and then it starts dictating. Your emotions and your feelings starts dictating you and telling you what to do. It's kind of like you're driving a car. You take control of that car. You're in control. You're driving that car. Ain't nobody else driving that car. Your emotions ain't driving the car. If you wanted to. You got to get in that car and drive that car. Steer the car where you want it to go. If you want to go left, you tell it to turn left. You turn that car left. If you want to go right, you turn that car right. Now, when you give room to emotions and your feelings, that's what happened. You get in the back seat, and your emotion and your feeling get in the front seat.
Right. And
then it starts taking control over where you want to go, what you want to do, what you're told to do, how you're told to do it, when you need to finish something, when you don't need it. It just starts taking control of that stuff.
Right.
And it start telling you what to do instead of you telling it what to do. Now you give something up. You give your power over to something that's gonna deter you away from your purpose, your calling.
Yeah.
The goals, the plans that you have made.
Any goal that you make, you have to have a mindset to do it. Regardless of how you feel or your emotions, because if you allow your emotions and feelings to dictate what you do, say for instance you're a person that has a goal, but if you don't feel necessarily to do that goal today, or you're not feeling good, or something keeps on happening, you're going to make an excuse. Sometimes feelings get stronger because of excuses. And once you make those excuses, you're going to delay or procrastinate, and that goal that you just made doesn't get done until maybe 4 days after the fact that you want to do that today.
And I'm telling you, honestly, this is something that we deal with for years.
Right.
It took work for us to get to where we at. It take practice, and that's something some of you all gonna have to do. You're gonna have to practice. You're gonna have to stop getting your emotions and your feelings controlling you, especially your emotions. You know what I'm saying? And especially when you're exhausted, when you feel so exhausted and tired and weary, after you're done battling the same stuff over and over, after you're done dealing with the same issues after issues after issues, after you're done dealing with the same problems, and it's like that problem just there, and you feel so exhausted. You're like, I'm so exhausted of this. I dealt with this so long. I can't deal with this anymore. This is like, and you just give up. You just say, you know what, I'm tired, I'm done. I'm just going to let this just be. I'm just going to let this problem just have this issue just deal, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to let that go because I can't.
Whatever happens.
Exactly. That kind of attitude. Yeah. Whatever happens, happens. Oh, well, if it wasn't meant for me to have it, I ain't going to have it. You know what I mean?
That's the wrong mentality right there. It's always meant for you to have it if that's what God told you could have, and that's your goal. Go get it. Don't sit there and say, well, it must not have been. No, it's always seed, time, harvest.
Right.
Today's world just wants seed harvest.
Right. No time.
No
Nobody
process,
wants to wait.
No time.
Yes, and
it's got to be a miracle.
And there's some issues that it's going to take process.
Right.
It's going to take.
They don't want process.
Long
they want
process.
Miracle.
Yeah, it's going to take some process. It's not always just like that.
Right.
It's not. And sometimes God is working your faith. Sometimes God is working your relationship with Him for you can get on your knees and run to Him. You know what I'm saying? Instead of running to everybody else or running to your emotions and your feelings. You know, God is working that thing out. So it's up to Him how long He wants to leave you in that process. It's up to God. But while you're in that process, why not count it all joy that when you face these trials, know that there is something amazing coming out of it.
Right. It's building your character.
It's building your character.
It's developing your spirit.
It is doing so much.
It's increasing your faith.
Right.
If God don't allow you to go through those things, you have weak faith. You still have mustard seed faith.
Right.
It's supposed to be from mustard seed to bigger seed. You know,
right.
It's supposed to grow. Your faith's supposed to grow. Your spirit's supposed to grow. Right. And you're not allowing. You're always waiting on miracles. You want it right now, and if it don't happen, then I'm done with it. And I'm going to go on to the next thing. I know God's going to do this. He's a miracle worker. You best believe He is a miracle worker. But why is He going to waste miracles on something that He knows you can already do?
Wow.
And He knows you can do it by faith.
Yes.
But you have to increase that faith. So He knows if you go through the process, now that you're going through this process, you're increasing faith. Now you're going to obtain it because you have the faith to obtain it. But you didn't have the faith right now. But He said if you go through these little processes right here, it's going to increase your strength. It's going to increase your spiritual strength. It's going to increase your faith. Now you can obtain it.
Right.
Why do I'm going to waste a miracle on something that I know that you're strong enough with my strength? He said, let the weak say I'm strong. Yes. I know you have the strength to do this.
Yes.
So I don't need, sometimes the miracles comes when He knows you can't get through it with your own strength.
Right.
With the strength that He gave you, He knows there's no way out.
Right.
So I'm going to have to perform a miracle.
Right.
But if He knows that if you have the faith and you allow Him to do it in you, and He knows you have that type of faith, He's going to allow you to go through the process.
Right. Yep. And sometimes He will have you up against the wall where He wants you to be up against the wall. Where He's like, you look to the left and you look to right and you can't find no help. None. Even the people that you've helped.
Something called perseverance.
And He wants you to say, no, there's no one can get you out of this but me.
Right.
No one. And why are you still looking to the left and the right for help? Why are you still looking to other people for help and things? And you're not coming to me. And a lot of you guys haven't spoken to God in years.
Right.
A lot of you guys haven't maintained that relationship, haven't kept that relationship going, that flow going with God. A lot of you guys, because of all your issues and all your problems and everything that's coming at you, and it hurts. I know that. I'm not being insensitive to this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We know it hurts. It hurts. We experience it. We're experiencing it right now.
Exactly.
So we're not here to tell you, oh, get out of this, shake this off. No, we're not here to tell you that stuff. We know exactly how you feel. That feeling of feeling like broken. That feeling of feeling lonely, of feeling despaired. The book of Job said that. I look to the left and I look to the right. Where are you, God? I can't find you. I don't know where you're at. And sometimes that's what happened to us. We look to the left and we look to the right, and we can't find no help at all. We can't find the help that we need. But we look for it in everything else. It's amazing how we look for the help in everything else except for God. And the last person's like, oh, well, now I got to go to God because I can't get my help from anywhere else.
Right.
But you've been looking in the wrong places. He's the last option instead of the first option, and God's supposed to be the first option. Right. And He is a jealous God. He don't like you putting nothing in front of Him. You got to get your emotions out of the way.
Yeah.
You have to take control of it. God wants us to have it. He puts it inside of us for a reason. It's there. Emotions and feelings are there for a reason. He needs us to have it. But you have to take control over it. You have to control it. You got to allow your spirit to control you instead of your emotions and your feelings controlling you.
Right. If you feel like everything, God don't want you worshiping Him with your feelings and emotions only.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He likes feelings and emotions, but you're supposed to worship Him with your spirit.
Spirit and truth,
Spirit onto spirit. Spirit onto spirit, not emotions onto emotions.
Yes.
God, He loves your emotions. He loves your feelings. He gave them to you.
Exactly.
But He didn't tell you to be led by them.
Right.
He told you to be led by the Word of God and by the Holy Spirit that's inside of you.
Right.
And that's what's supposed to lead you. Because these feelings and emotions that lead you the wrong way. They're so undependable, unreliable. They're so unstable. If you want instability, just go ahead and be led by your feelings and emotions all the time.
Right.
If you want a stable life, you can go ahead and do what you know God's telling you to do, and walk it out in obedience, discipline. These are words that people don't like. It's not fun. Discipline, obedience.
Yes.
Commitment, consecration, consistency. These are the words that's really going to make your life better.
Right.
But no one wants to do that because we are microwave society.
There's always a process. There's always
go through the process.
It's a work.
Right.
It's a work. It's hard work too to get there. It's sacrifices. It's a lot of things that you have to die to, and a lot of people are not willing to die to a lot of things just because they want to hold on to.
I don't feel like it.
Or they want to hold on to this flesh, the things that make them feel good at the moment. They make things that, oh, well, I don't feel like doing it.
Right.
Or it don't feel right. It ain't about feelings. You got to get that out of the way. I'm telling you, that stuff will mess your whole walk up with God. It will mess your whole character up too. Like, you can't be led by it.
You can't.
You cannot.
He said
it dictates too much in your life for you to get things done. That's where procrastination comes in.
Right.
That's where you say your word and you say something to somebody and you don't keep your word. You sit there and say, "Oh, I'm pick you up at this time at 6:00." You don't show up, and then now here you come. You call in. "Oh, I'm sorry I couldn't be there because I wasn't feeling good today. I was in bed. My stomach was hurting, so I couldn't pick you up." And you're just like, and that just messed up. That person was depending on you to be there.
Right.
That person was dependent on your word, that you keep in your word to be there, to show up there. You know what I'm saying? And then you know what I'm saying, you have to make priorities. You have to do things on intention.
Right.
Not because you feel like it. Not because, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't. You got to shut that down and just say, I got to do this. My stomach hurt, but you know what? This person needed me to pick them up at 6:00. I got to be faithful to my word. I got to be faithful to my friend. I got to show them my friends that I'm dependable when they need me. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
That's building great character.
Right. Integrity.
You want to be a person of integral. Keeping your word.
Right.
Be a person of integrity.
No one does that anymore, baby. No one keeps their word.
I'm telling you, nowadays days, no. No one keeps their word anymore.
You expecting God to keep His word to you, and you don't even keep your word. It's like, why should He do that? You're lying and deceiving everybody else. You keep on telling everybody you're breaking your promises. Why should He keep His promises to you? I'm just saying. Like, why?
It's true. That's so true.
You reap what you sow, right?
Right. And He's not going to keep on doing. He's not going to keep. Listen, we all saved. We all come to God. When we first come to God, we come as baby Christians.
Right.
We don't continue staying baby Christians. We don't continue getting bottle fed. You can't. Because there's no growth there. There's no, you can't develop that relationship with God the way you want to stay in a baby. Somewhere you got to grow, process. You got to get to that baby stage, then the toddler stage. And that, as you get older, you go on to what do you call it? Being more mature, more, more where you don't get fed the bottle anymore. Now you're getting meat fed. You're getting fed on another level that you never had. It's an advancement. Right. It's a maturity. It's a growth. You know what I'm saying? You can't stay there. So like I'm saying, it's
And
like
maturity only comes through process. You have to go through the process of maturity.
Process. It's a
It's
process.
from glory to glory.
And process is what? Time.
Right.
It takes time. Not just like that. Not everything's going to be bam. When I want it, when I pray, God send it. When I ask God for
These are miracles.
no. And God can do miracles, but He's not going to do miracles in your life all the time. I'm sorry.
Not when He knows that you have the capability. He said, be fruitful on this earth. I gave you authority. If He gave us authority, we're supposed to use it. He ain't going to sit up here and give us a miracle for everything that we need when He knows that you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
You're supposed to be doing. You declare the word. You decree the word.
Right.
You go after it.
You go after it.
You do it.
Right.
I've already did what I got to do. I'm
Exactly.
waiting on you.
That's it.
T.D. Jakes just said that. He said, God
Our
don't want to give you no
our
word.
pastor just said that.
He
Yes.
said He don't want no more. He ain't trying to give you no more word.
Action, man. That action.
You're
I'm
a
telling
hearer,
you.
but it's time to be a doer.
And that's what the enemy will use your feelings to get in front of that action.
Right.
Taking that step.
Excuses.
Excuses.
Yeah.
Procrastination.
Right.
Woo! My God.
Delayed obedience is still disobedience. What do you think a delay is? Delay is procrastination. If you look up procrastination, it means delay. You're delaying action.
Delayed obedience.
The way He says right now faith. When God gives you a word, He means you to do it now. Really.
Right.
You do it now. Is the thing that He told you to do now, is the fruit of that thing going to happen right now?
Mm-hmm.
No, but the action on your part is supposed to happen right now.
Right.
Even a prophecy. Just because someone prophesied over your life, you expecting you're going to get that prophecy the next day? No. It's in you as a seed.
Right.
Seed.
It takes time to develop.
Harvest.
Yes.
That prophecy ain't supposed to just show up in your door as soon as it's spoken.
Time harvest.
It's in you.
Yes.
But it has to be developed. Just like a baby.
Just like your character have to be developed.
Right.
Just like your attitude have to be developed. Everything has to be developed.
You're being developed.
You're being developed. And you have to go through those steps.
See that?
Time, harvest.
That's glory.
Seed,
From glory
time,
to glory.
harvest. Yes.
From glory to glory. Steps of a good man is ordered by the Lord.
Right. You have to take those steps. Step out of your comfort zone. Step out of what you're so used to doing all the time. It's not doing nothing for you. It's not getting you nowhere. You're not growing. There's no growth.
Right.
If you can't see growth inside of you, you gotta change what you're doing.
There it is. Change.
Transform.
Don't be
Transform.
conformed.
Do not be conformed by this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind.
And that's what it is.
Renew your mind.
Conform is agreement. We're not supposed to agree with this world anymore. We're supposed to be transformed. That means changed and renewed. Be renewed by our mind. We're not supposed to think like this world anymore.
Right.
We're not
maybe be in this world, but we're not
supposed
of
to
it.
have this mentality.
We're not supposed to have it. No.
You're supposed to be transformed by the renewing of your mind, by the Word of God.
Yes.
Feelings and emotions and excuses. Feelings, emotions, excuses brings procrastinations, brings delays.
And what did you say Creflo Dollar said?
Oh yeah, he said Creflo Dollar. He said excuses are nails that builds a house of failure.
Oh my God, powerful.
Excuses are nails that builds a house of failure. It's one of my favorites.
So powerful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Wow,
every
so
time,
powerful.
Every time you make an excuse, here comes another nail in the house of failure.
Woo!
That's
and you
a
keep
powerful
building that, and you
scripture.
keep building that, and building that.
You're just building it up.
And then that thing get in your character, and then that's all. Every time somebody asks you to do something, or you need to do something, you got excuses because you build that in your character so much. Right. That's all that comes out of your mouth now, excuses.
And guys, like you have to, if you want to live in the spirit, you're gonna have to disagree with the flesh.
But thank you guys so much once again for watching us and inviting us into your world as we invite you into ours. Exactly. Just remember, this is Real Talk with Shawn and Julie. Have a blessed one.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.